Coach, your previous game was an almost perfect one. Do you expect the same thing tonight?
No, not at all, because the previous match was very good for us, not the same for them. But today probably they changed completely their effort, their level today. So we have to accept the competition and suppose that arrive all the scenario.
Coach Verhanneman, the last game was a tough one. Have you made many changes today?
The change today will be more in the, I hope, the mentality of the players. The last game they surprised us a little bit with the intensity, but and that's what I want to see today. We have to start with more intensity and try to match their level of energy. And then if we can do this, if we can get a little bit flow, we will see where we can end.
Welcome to the REO Arena in Roeselare, Belgium, for more terrific playoff action from the CEV Champions League as Asseco Resovia RZESZÓW arrive from Poland, looking to book a place in the quarter-finals with victory over host Knack ROESELARE. After a 3-0 win for Resovia in Game 1, taking just 2 sets this evening will put them through to the last 8 showdown with Turkey club Ziraat Bank Ankara, and that's why they look pretty chilled in the dressing room. For home side Knack ROESELARE, though, all is not lost, and a 3-0 or 3-1 victory would force a golden set this evening, which, after an under-par performance in leg 1, will be a result the team and the fans certainly feel is something achievable. Well, thanks for joining us here on Eurovolley TV. Simon Golding with you for a potentially big night of playoff volleyball. And as the two teams get ready for this one, there's still plenty to play for in this match. Great answers, I thought, from both coaches ahead of this game. I think both of them feel that there's still a result to be had. Two captains then, Steen Hulst of Knack ROESELARE in the blue, and another setter on the other side of the net, Martin Janos, 31-year-old captain of this Resovia team, in for the toss and into the final part of the warm-up. Resovia were very good at home last week to win in straight sets to give them a big advantage coming into tonight's match, but there's plenty of work ahead still. After a slow start, experienced wing spiker Arthur Schalpuk top scored with 15 points to take the MVP award from that first match. And it was a solid all-round performance from the squad across the board. Libero Pavel Zatorski was really good. He had a great passing unit. Captain and setter Marcin Janusz, well, he ran a diverse offence, and that brought all the big names into the game. Warszawa, great win then at the top of the left-hand side of the draw to beat Italians Trentino in the golden set. They played Lublin, and then down in the bottom half of the draw, more really interesting stuff happening. Las Palmas managing to get through against Montpellier. They will face the defending champions Perugia in their quarter-final. And then we already know that Lube will face Zawiercie, the runners-up from last year. And it's just this match now to settle the final quarter-final lineup. Who will meet Ziraat Bank Ankara in the last 8? Certain favourites will be Resovia. Well, team's top scorer for Resovia, Karol Butrin, played really well in the opposite slot. French winger Yassine Louati looked the business. And middles, Matthias Poreba and Canadian Danny Demyanenko were really good. Massimo Botti's team, though, will need to be as good as that again if they're going to get this across the line. So the other side of the net, Knack misfired in Game 1. Top scorer Basil Demur drifted in and out of the match. He got 10 points. He was their top scorer, but he was the only player into double figures for the Belgian side. Captain and setter Steen Hulst, he played the last time these two teams met back in 2013-14. Well, he tried to keep the other starters, winger Erik Sixner of Canada and Norway's Oscar Espeland, involved, but mostly it was out of system. When they did get into system, he was able to bring the experienced middles Peter Kuhlmann and Lennart Van Elsen into the action, and they looked good value. If coach Mathias Verhanneman then is serious about victory tonight, as you've already heard him say, it's not a change in personnel, it's a change in mentality that his team needs to bring to the party. And if they can get better ball control, then that's going to be a start. But for me, it's going to be the opposite, Demur, that has to go big in tonight's game. So nice look around the arena as the teams go through their final warm-up process. Two Libros, Michael Patera and Pavel Zatorski for the Resovia squad. And as always, we've got the travelling group of fans. Polish teams so well supported, home and away. Hage of the Netherlands, number 13 shirt, wing spiker that didn't feature in the last tie. Dennis de Rooij is the libero likely to get the start tonight ahead of Bani Angelis, the youngster. And there's another man who played in the last fixture between these two clubs, which was won incidentally by Resovia 3-1, 3-1 on the CEV Champions League. Matthijs Verhanneman, the Belgian coach and former long-time servant of Knack ROESELARE as a player and of the international squad, of course. If you want to join the conversation about what is going to be a terrific finish to the European season, please do so. We'd love to hear from you. Hashtag CLVolleyM to get in touch. So referees just looking after the final part of this warm-up before we get the starting lineups onto the court. I don't expect to see too many changes either side of the net. Quick shot there of number 22, Eric Shoji, the USA libero, who is once again in the regular shirt, so we'll see him in as a normal substitution across the back line. That means they can play both Zatorski and Shoji in the passing unit, something that Massimo Botti did use on a number of occasions. I love it when we look around the crowd and we see lots of different faces, some of whom famous for their contributions to volleyball at the top level, and some I would imagine who've been playing the sport forever at various levels. They certainly know their stuff here in Belgium. We've got a fair amount of support in as well from the travelling Polish fans for Resovia. It's a lovely atmosphere. It's a great arena as well here in ROESELARE. Quite steep seating. I always feel that means the crowd are right on top of the action. And it produces a really good amphitheatre for the players to compete. So can Knack ROESELARE find something that was missing last week? Yes, Poland hit them hard. The Resovia team went after them right from the off, but Steenhulst and his men tried as hard as they could to recover in the game. It just wasn't happening. And De Mo pretty much shut out of the action. Sixner couldn't get going. Espeland played well in phases. And in the end, it was Matthijs de Met that came in, their top ace scorer from the service line, that came in for 7 points relatively late in the day. So he may get an early call if things don't go well from the initial starters. And from Koolman and Van Elsen, they need another solid performance from those two Belgian middle blockers. Those are the squads available. That's the Asseco Resovia RZESZÓW team here with Massimo Botti. And it's Artur Schalpuk, who had a slow start to game one, but really started to play as the game went on. He was very good in the opener, and the other wing spiker, Yacine Loati, French international, meant there was a lot of balance on that side. That took a little bit of pressure away from top scorer Karol Buterin. But Buterin was also really solid in some pressure moments. There is the Knack ROESELARE team. Steenhulst, the veteran setter, likely to be the starter. But for me, it's all about number 15, Basil de Mo. He's a very, very good player. He just wasn't able to show it for enough of the game last week. So then, last of the formalities as the teams line up. Bit of Neil Diamond, obviously, prior to the CEV anthem. A nice piece of work from the Knack ROESELARE crowd. Very good. This is what evenings of European volleyball are all about. This is what the CEV has been delivering for years now, and in these this format of the Champions League, it is something special, and we're still only at the playoff phase for a place in the quarterfinals. We have got a terrific finish to the competition on our hands, and it's all coming up on Euro Volley TV. Ringside seats for you. And another fantastic matchup.
Nogmaals van harte welkom hier in REO Arena. We stellen uiteraard voor dat we met iets van beide teams voor
So the Champions League anthem, the marker for the players to head to the net for the final part of the build-up. There we go. Teams then just about ready to get this underway. It's never easy away from home. You do get some time in the arena on court as a training session prior to this game getting underway, so it's not completely unfamiliar to the Resovia players. But you've got a couple of thousand fans on your back. You've got a new backdrop to passing the ball and running your plays. It's a tricky thing to master. And that is where Knack ROESELARE will be hoping to take full advantage of this second leg. And remember, the Belgian team need a 3-0 or 3-1 victory if they're going to force this all the way to a golden set. Montpellier nearly did it against Las Palmas the other night. They beat them in 5, but didn't stop Las Palmas getting to the 2 sets they needed, which is exactly what Asseco Resovia RZESZÓW need to find this evening. So before we meet our starting lineups, let's meet our 2 referees for this one. From Switzerland, Vladimir Simunovic. From the Netherlands, Suleiman Yalcin. So referees in place, it'll be the away team, Resovia in the red and white, who hit the floor first of all with their starters. I don't think Massimo Botti will be looking to make too many changes out there. We will see though. Coaches tend to keep those sorts of decisions pretty close to their chest ahead of the big games, and tonight is a very big game for Resovia, 7-time Polish champions. So through the middle, Matthias Poreba should be joined by Demianenko, and Yasin Luati is going to start through the wing. There comes the Canadian, Demianenko. He was really good from the service line last week. MVP from game 1, Artur Shalpuk. That's going to be the other left side. Captain and setter, Marcin Janusz, and opposite Karol Butrin, with Pavel Zadorski in that libero slot. And there we go, Shalpuk and Luati outside, Poreba, Demianenko through the middle, Butrin opposite, Janusz sets, and Zadorski at libero for Massimo Botti. See if we got any surprises from Coach Verhaneman. Possible change-up, Sixner out and in comes Demet, but we'll see. Build up here from the fans and the mascot. 16 times Belgian champions, Knack ROESELARE. Got a great history in this competition. The team that has played the most times in this European Champions League. Their 24th appearance this season. Eric Sisner starts outside. Peter Koolman through the middle. Steen Holst is going to be the setter. Lennart van Elsen is the other middle blocker. And the Norwegian, Oscar Espeland is going to start ahead of Matthias Demet. There's the man of the moment, Basil de Meaux in the number 15 shirt. It's got to be his evening this evening. And Dennis de Rooij completes the lineup at libero. So let's confirm that for you. Koolman and Van Elsen are middle blockers again. Espeland and Sixner get another start left side to see if they can pull it together. Basil de Meaux has to be the big scorer, and Steen Holst will know that's the player he's got to find. Massimo Botti then is the coach of Resovia, and former Knack ROESELARE playing legend Matthijs Vahaneman is the coach of the team now. Final checks then underway. And we are ready to get this one underway. It's a big game for Knack ROESELARE to come back in, but it's a game that they can come back in. Will they be able to force that golden set, or will Resovia be able to claim the 2 sets they need to put their place in the last 8? Over the next couple of hours, we are about to find out right here on Eurovolley TV. Away we go then. Big night of European volleyball. Asseco Resovia RZESZÓW from Poland in the red and white. Going to serve us into the game. Knack ROESELARE, the home side, in the blue. The first team on the attack, and it's been thrashed wide by Erik Sixner, the Canadian wing spiker. Taking on his fellow Canadian, Danny Demyanenko, into that angle. It's an early error. Vahaneman needs his team to be straight away into this match. Don't want to give Resovia a chance, and the line-up on the passing unit for Knack ROESELARE, just doing the little dance to get people into different positions. Buterin misses. Scores a level. It'll take a little while just to settle down in these rotations, but it is Knack that have to settle first. Good high ball from Buterin. Always hits within himself. You never really see him overextend, so this is a classy swing, high swing, cross court deep, good enough. Luati, the big left side from France, with a good enough serve to produce the overpass, which Artur Shalpuk, last week's MVP, is more than happy to dispatch. Nervy start from Knack ROESELARE. 3-1 Resovia. Luati again. Ace. Oh dear. And it's going rather well at the moment for the away team. First point in the match for Luati is a big one. Great noise from this Belgian crowd here in support of the home team. Sixner gets it off the block and just about gets it past the defenders. Sixner scores then. Queen's University player in U Sport with the serve, and it is returned by his compatriot, former McMaster University player Danny Demyanenko. First score for him then. He was superb front and back court in last week's game. Demyanenko signed from Rotazolina in the off-season for Resovia. Good serve to start with. Nice pass though. Fired out wide by Hulst, and it's never, ever going to be given against Espeland. Not on home turf. The volley throwdown. Espeland scores his first point of the game. 24-year-old Norwegian international. Well, Lennart van Elsen was pretty good from the service line last week, but this is his first attempt. Janusz back round to rotation one pretty quickly. As Marcin Janusz puts it into play, overpass, out of bounds. Steenhulst not allowed to play that one. Now an ace from Janusz, so 2 aces in the early phases of the game from Resovia shows that they've settled right into this. System ball once more. Espeland fires it off the block and away. Good shot from the Norwegian. Well, he knew he put his captain in trouble there, and he's got his team out of trouble with a good swing. Demo hits it long. Absolutely no inclusion for Basil Demo just yet. Hasn't been given a ball in offence by Dulst, his captain. Schalpuk was slow into the match last week, and in fact for the first half of the opening set I was wondering whether he would actually stay on the floor, but he got it going, fired it up for 15 points and the MVP in the end. Espeland's turn to serve. And the net does for him. Resovia into double figures. Commanding lead already in the game. Just to 9 points. Good jump float on that hybrid ball from Pareba. Trouble again for Knack. Block is really strong. Oh, goodness me. And Sixner will be hearing from Demyanenko about that one. The two Canadians go head-to-head. And Demyanenko wins it with a crushing monster block. They are in double figures now. Pareba to go again. Float ball toss, bit of topspin on it. Overpass. Dulst contains it. And it's been hit out of bounds, but off the blocker. And Demyanenko just double-checking with the players around him who might have touched that. Unfortunately, for Knack, one of the Resovia players did. It was Luati. Very good from Buterin. So he's got two favourite spots. One is deep down the line into position 5. The other one is a solid, strong, deep swing into 1. Those are his two go-to shots. He'll keep mixing up between those two as the game goes on. Second point for Buterin, and he will serve. Bit of camera work on the yellow and green Mikasa. Steenhulst to the baseline. Still no attacking set for Basil Demo, their top scorer. And he can't get anywhere near that block either. Luati with the easy finish. Demyanenko runs the interference in the middle. Luati has started solidly. Always was a classy player for France. He's a big unit. He hits a very hard ball. Into the net though from the former Milano player. He did play for Resovia, then signed for Milano in the top division in Italy, then came back in the off-season to Resovia. It's felt like a loan deal. Sixner. Good serve. Schalpuk under pressure. Out of system swing, blockers lined up, but he manages to beat De Roy cross court, and that's what he's got in his locker. Second point for Schalpuk. Now, a middle player that can serve aces is gold dust. Demyanenko can, but not on this occasion. There's a problem when you give a server the big build-up, you can virtually guarantee they're going to serve it in the net or out. Back to the jump serve of Lennart van Elsen. He puts this one in. Good pass though, and that allows a first release ball through the middle for Matthias Poreba. He wasn't quick last week in the early part of the game, but he's a bit more on this one. That's a much better tempo, and he's clubbed it off of the middle player that's just served, Van Elsen. Do you want to sit near that drum for the evening? That's the big question, I guess, when you come to the REO Arena. First swing for De Mo is not a good one, and things are not going well in general for the home side, Knack ROESELARE. Schalpuk scores again, and a slightly worrying first attack from De Mo. There was nothing behind it. Timeout then for Knack ROESELARE.
This one ball just sent out, that doesn't matter. I see your arm is swinging full, and there's no doubt. Just we have to control a little bit more the passing. We're doubting a little bit, one ball out. We took two aces that were avoidable. So in passing, a little bit less tension. Okay, they start to miss. Now they will start to put more serves in. Easy in passing to push the ball. Let's go.
The nice point runs in there for Resovia. Not countered by the home team. And Massimo Botti will be delighted with what he's seen so far, even if his face doesn't give that away. It'll do. Espeland tipping off the block for another point. Scoreboard against Knack ROESELARE though, makes serving pretty difficult. Dulst comes out. Now the standard substitution is to bring the taller setter, backup setter Seppi van Hooijwegen into the action. And it's followed at last by De Mo getting into the game. Well, I told you, this guy can play. He just didn't play in game one particularly well, but he opens his account with an ace. Then tickles it off the net for back-to-back aces. Not in the game plan, but they'll take that little bit of fortune on offer. And it's forced Massimo Botti into a timeout.
Easy rotation, and the other rotation we know we have to suffer. If it's a good deal, play ball far from the net. I don't want to see slash balls. The second step, no first step, no five, more important back.
So every coach will know that certain rotations are trickier for them than others, whether that be just the rotation of players on the other side of the net that presents a serious problem, or whether it be their own team that might just struggle to find a side out with that particular lineup. As you heard there from Massimo Botti, there are rotations we have to suffer on. Suffer and score if you can. Right, De Mo going for a hat-trick of aces. Good serve, what a great pass. Oh, that is a towering set from Marcin Janusz. And he strolls casually back to the group. But that was a beautiful set. And he's got it out wide to Schalpuk with some serious pace on it. 4 points and counting for Artur Šalpuk, and he's 100% so far. Okay, Knack are ready to bring De Mol into the action, and Van Hooijdonk, the new setter on court, looks like the player to do it. Goes to the top scorer, and he finishes well. Out comes Šalpuk, in comes Shoji. That's a standard substitution for Resovia, so Shoji becomes a regular substitution, but part of the passing unit. They lose the pipe from Šalpuk. But they've got Luati, Poreba and Buterin in the front court. It doesn't seem to matter though. Knack ROESELARE have woken it up here. This is a very different look now. And De Mol scores again. Told you, he's the go-to. He's got to be the player tonight. Two points in it. This is a good comeback from the home team, and that is a brilliant serve. Whoa! Great stuff from Oscar Espeland. And the intensity for Knack ROESELARE has just gone through the roof. Superb hit to beat Zatorski. 4 points then for Espeland. This is so much better from Knack. Luati gets away with a power tip, and then there's a little chat with the Knack players to follow. That's a good bit of work from Peter Koolman, just trying to get his players to keep their cool. Both captains called in by the first referee, Vladimir Simonovic. Van Hooijdonk obviously takes over as the, well, not obviously, but he does take over as the on-court captain when regular captain Steen Dulst is on the bench. Put over to serve then. Resovia hanging on to the 2-point lead. They're going to make it a 3-pointer. Good read. They kind of felt it was going to Basel De Mol, and they felt right. And Hooijdonk's set is good. The block is better. Luati and Demianenko shut him down. Good effort from Van Hooijdonk. He just introduced a little bit of energy, bit of fire into that, and he's got De Mol into the game. Great reach from Demianenko. And a very good second ball to the same player. Great thinking there from Dulst as he feeds Koolman. 36-year-old veteran Belgian middleman. Still got it. Shoji still out there as a passer. Koolman serves. It's a good serve. Right, way out of system for Luati. A clever boy. What a great shot. Just watched it all the way and saw a huge gap open up, and rather than take the block on, he's just rolled it into the space. They hide Dulst in the block, and it really throws the defence. Easy point for Luati. 5 points in the game for the Frenchman. Buterin tries to cut an ace onto the line, but just misses. And a bit of pressure on Resovia here. 6-point lead is getting taken away from them rather quickly. Does to serve. Easy pass for Luati. Nice tempo on the ball, and I think Luati's missed it. His luck's out. We're going to get a challenge. Massimo Botti requests a very specific challenge here. You can tell the set was good because Demianenko thought he had it. He was having a swing at that as it fired past, so really tough for the opposition blockers to read it. No confession on the block touch just yet. Now, if you're wondering what all the plastic clear plastic covering is around the computers, that's protection simply, because Mikassa's at 120 clicks into the back of a computer doesn't mix. Challenge is lost. Very important point that for Knack ROESELARE. Dulst will serve again, just a point in it now. Not a great pass from Shoji. Oh, terrific blocking. Butryn is put on the floor. And Knack ROESELARE are on the move. Right, who got all of this? Looks like Demor's arrival was key. Well, the crowd were already noisy, but now they're delirious. Remember, it's a simple thing to understand anyway, not to execute, but they have to simply stop Resovia winning 2 sets tonight. They do that, then it's a golden set to decide the winners. That's some hit. That is some hit. Butryn has hammered that. And what a play after getting blocked on the previous ball. Daring set from Janusz. And he's beaten De Ruyt down the line. Into play, out of system. Sharpuk comes back to the court, makes the third blocker in the wall. Goes there again and gets good hands on it. Real chance now. What a ball. Oh, that's a fantastic set from Janusz. Great availability as well from Demyanenko. Part of the 3-man block, 2 on the bounce, and then gets himself off the net and gets available. And this is middle hitting of the highest quality. Second timeout for Coach Vaneman.
The B2 is not so high, both of them. If you go full, go down, you can kill the ball there. Let's go!
Just trying to let Erik Sixner know that that block is not as high as he maybe thinks it is. It's the head-to-head between the two right sides at the moment. Demor has caught up with Butryn. A massive point here. Into play. Good serve from Luati. Doesn't get to that one though, and good listen there from the Canadian wing spiker. Really took the words of the coach on board. Swing high, swing hard, and he's done it. Good point from Sixner, valuable point for Knack. And Sixner will serve, 21-20 Resovia. Single break remains though, after the error. And that one break is all you need to win a set. 2 clear points, remember, required, or first to 25 with the other team out of sight will do it. Demyanenko goes a little bit higher and deeper. Pushes Espeland out of system. Good hit from Demor. That's a really good hit. And both the right-siders are putting in a shift. That's the 6th point for Basil Demor. Demyanenko's time is done. He may not get back onto court with the way the set is going. Lennart Van Elsen. Oh, and he's out of luck as well. So Sixner and Van Elsen both put the ball into the net just when Knack need to make Resovia play. Right, Janusz to serve, so it's a much better front line now for Resovia. It's all at the moment in the Polish team's favour. Espeland passes. Ball on the reverse to Demor, picked off by Luati. Janusz gets it wide to Sharpuk, and Sharpuk just does what he's been doing for so many years in his pro career. Big high hand swing And a good piece of defence from Luati, the two left-siders playing well. 3 set points then to Resovia to take a big step towards the quarters. De Mol delays it for the moment. It's all kicking off there. It's all kicking off. Big yellow card from the head coach, from the referee to, was it to the coach or was it to one of the players? It's just going to be explained now to Marcin Janusz. Here we go, we're going to have a look. We're going to have a look. So De Mol, comfortable that he has won this point. Resovia, though, not so sure. So second challenge for Massimo Botti. He's just clarifying with our second referee, Suleiman Yalcin, exactly what the challenge is for, which you have to do. Captains are still being spoken to by the referee. Resovia think that this was their point, obviously. This is a big call. Well, with so much on the line, with such a big prize, the CEV Champions League quarter-final up for grabs, it's no surprise, really, that it's getting quite tasty down there. That's about as far away from a centre-line fault as you can get, so challenge is no good again for the second time. But I think Massimo Botti just threw it in just to slow it all down and put a bit of pressure on a server that can take this away from them. De Mol with 2 aces already in his 6 points. Big swing, out of system ball, sharp hook, wide, off the net and wide. Another set point saved. Second time out from Massimo Botti, and Knack ROESELARE are making things as hard as they can here for Resovia. So, Coach Botti there, just even with a really experienced setter like Janusz, he's just trying to take the lottery out of it all and just making sure the setter understands his options there and what he's trying to achieve. More importantly, that second time out was taken just to try and get into the head of Basil De Mol again. Can De Mol find another big serve? 1 set point remains then. It's good work this from Knack ROESELARE. Cracking serve, big out of system ball for Boutrin, and he's missed. No, he's made the fingers. I thought he just missed it, but he's managed to catch the blockers, and Resovia gets set 1 into the locker, but by a fingernail. Resovia lead by 1 set to 0. They're 1 set away from the quarterfinals. All sorts going on down there at the end of that set. Really exciting finish to what looked like it was going to be a runaway set for Resovia initially, but what a brilliant comeback from Knack ROESELARE. Couldn't quite save the day, but De Mol is definitely starting to play, and he could still be key in this game. The problem for Knack ROESELARE is they mustn't give another set away, otherwise it's over. Well, I told you we were in for a big night, and this game has warmed up nicely. Both teams definitely coming to the party in that opening set. Knack ROESELARE just a little late, but if they can get off to a good start in set number 2, they can start to do their work. Volleyball, top scorer for Knack ROESELARE at the moment. On the other side of the net, it's been shared by Shalpuk and Luati out on that left side for the moment, with Butrym playing a backup role. Nothing too much coming down the middle right now. That's testament to Knack's improved serving pressure. Well, this game was already set up very nicely, and it's just made it even more enticing. Wow, this is big time, and Resovia are just a set away from the quarterfinals. But after that first set comeback, it doesn't feel like Knack ROESELARE are out of it yet. Vanneman watching very keenly through the net to make sure there's no changes that he wasn't planning. From Resovia's point of view, anything that he's got to cover. Same starters on the floor. Right then, set 2, away we go. Steenders, the Belgian captain of this Knack ROESELARE team, with the serve, and he tumbles to the floor expecting a big shot. De Mol can't put it away. Blocker's doing a good job. And again, that tempo ball out to Luati. Are we going to get a challenge? First point of set 2. No, the ball ruled to hit the floor, and hit the floor it did. Luati point then. He goes back to the service line, the French international. Good middle. Much more in-system work from Knack ROESELARE in the early phases of this match. That was a major problem for them last week. They need that rhythm early. Can't afford to lose another set. Point in offense from Van Elsen. Good serve, calm pass, and Butrym unloads on that one, but Knack have it under control. Fiery hit from Espeland. Block is good. De Mol goes off the top of the fingertips. Chance now to score, out of the pipe. Luati doesn't put it away. Oh, good blocking. Fabulous stuff from Shalpuk. And in the end, a net touch denies Knack ROESELARE any further contribution to that rally. That's a great piece of work from both teams. Lovely defence from Dost, and a super block from Shalpuk. He does well to stay out of the net there. It's not easy when you're jumping from behind the attack line to the net to stop that forward momentum. Demianenko then. His serving has not been on tonight. Just the one big ball in court at the moment for the Canadian middleman. The fans trying to create an irresistible atmosphere here that is just going to push this Knack ROESELARE team along in their challenge. All pipe at the moment from Janusz. The blockers starting to get a real feel for this. Convinced Pereba was going to get that, but once again Janusz went there, so the error gives Knack the lead. Good serve, Van Elsen. Butrin switches it cross court and hits it out. It's a very good leave in that case from Dulst, the captain. (4-2). Is this the momentum swing that Knack are looking for tonight? Remember, if they win 3-1, we get a golden set. Game is still very much alive, but Butrin just makes a slight adjustment and finds the court. Janusz trying to get some work out of Butrin on that right side. Good set. What a beautiful set from Dulst. And what a lovely arm swing from the veteran Peter Koolman. Watch him snap on this ball. Realises the angle down that line is open and just snaps it across his body. Really nice hit. Demianenko and Poreba remain fairly quiet in the game for Resovia. No joy on this visit to the service line from Demo, who nearly served his team back into set number 1. Well, they're trying to push a little bit here, Resovia, to get back to the intensity that they had earlier in the match, but it's not coming back. In fact, the errors are starting to look costly. Serve from Espeland. Solid ball from Luati, who gets the tempo set once again. Nothing's really been hittable for Luati on that left side quick ball, but he's making good use of it still. Power tip this time. It's a great shot. Hybrid serve then from Poreba. Not passed well by Espeland. Demo out of system swing. That's a peach. I tell you, he is a real prospect, Demo. This is a real hit. (7-5) Knack. Koolman to serve. Just need to keep this momentum. Knack ROESELARE, I think they've got to trust in their process a bit more. Get it into play with some pressure, but trust that their block and defense will come up with points. Karol Butrin then at the service line. Again, that little shift of the players. That's not what forces the error. That's simply trying to deny Butrin hitting his target, but he doesn't even hit the cord on that one. He is putting some pretty big dents into the Knack ROESELARE court, isn't he? Danny Demianenko, the Canadian Olympian. Right, he tickles the net, causes a problem. Sixner against 3 blockers, hits it so well. Zatorski didn't know much about that, and Zatorski's won the point. Just a reaction dig from the libero. Well, you train this a lot. Liberos train all sorts. Go on, I'm going to give that to him. I'm going to give that to him. End on camera showed that he knew a bit more about that than it initially looked. Good shot from Zatorski. Luati long. Often liberos score a point like that, but they certainly let everybody know about it when they do. Back to the day job though. Pavel passing against the Sixner serve. Cushion ball in, Demyanenko giving it again, and he's the only middle on the Resovia side of the net that's had a real impact. Poreba's just got the single point at the moment. Demyanenko's got himself to 5. Right, that will surely give him a bit more confidence behind the serve. Yes, it does. Just long, though. Just long. What a great leave from the Knack ROESELARE passing lineup. Gives his coach Massimo Botti the stare there. Trying to will a challenge. And we are gonna have a look at this. Well, he's 0 for 2 at the moment, Massimo Botti on the challenges. Ball in or out, that's all they can look at on the high-speed camera footage. I'm sure things will develop with the challenge system over time. It's only just in the frame, but it certainly isn't in the court. So 3 challenges lost now by Massimo Botti on the bounce. Nelson puts it into play. Oh, oh my goodness me. I'm not sure you can hit a ball much harder than that. Well, he's seen Demyanenko bouncing them for fun. Poreba wanted in on the action, and that's a full swing. Great score from the Polish middle. 10-all. Resovia back in it. Chance to score again. Not wide to Szałpuk. Szałpuk blocked, but good coverage by Zatorski. And good coverage in turn by Dulst. Wicked hit from Demo. What a defensive touch from Janusz, but Knack just did not let up. Relentless in offense. Bodies everywhere. But eventually, cheeky little set to Kuhlmann, who scores. Right, no luck for Demo on his first visit in this second set. His team really need him to find 2 or 3 here. I think they'd settle for a couple of points on this visit. Good start. Ace number 3 for Basil Demo. Put serious heat on the ball. Got to go for it again. 8 points in the bank, 2 aces, 3 aces even. Make it 4. And that was surely going out. Pavel Zatorski, though, couldn't resist a little nibble at the ball. And exactly what Basil Demo needed to do for his team, he has done. Time out then for Resovia. Knack ROESELARE have some control in set 2. They're fully into it, aren't they? And the Knack ROESELARE fans putting on a great show tonight, and they're starting to see their team push away here. 5 aces so far for the home side, 4 of them coming from this man, Basil Demo. No luck this time. Good timeout, Coach Botti. Done a bit of damage though. Resovia have got to now counter those 2 points. Szałpuk goes off pace, not a good pass. Not a problem for Demo. He's pounded another one and it ain't coming back. smashes into the banners up on the ceiling. He's hit this fiercely hard again. Demo is doing something he didn't do last week. He is showing what a dominant force he can be. He's already equaled his score from last week across 3 sets. He's done it in 1.5. Lovely swing cross court from Luati. He's absolutely nailed the tee with that. The point where that attack line goes across the sideline. A lot of commitment in that hit, very good. Cordoba serves, Knack looking to hang in there. Good defense from Schalpuk. Good swing from Buterin. Dulst is throwing himself all over the place. And another fiery swing from Demo. Well, they've got a lead now, Knack ROESELARE, and they don't look very keen at all to give it up. Demo once again bangs it off the block for the point. 11 and counting for Knack ROESELARE's top scorer in the competition. Ace. Oh, the aces are flowing. And this time it's middleman Kuhlmann. He doesn't get many, but that's a cracker. 4 points in the game for Kuhlmann. More importantly, 4-point lead for the home team. Schalpuk forced out of system. Tough swing for Luati against 3 blockers. And he sailed it out of bounds. He thinks via the fingertips of Van Elsen, who looks a little guilty there. All right, this is a bit of a gamble for Massimo Botti. Blockers don't have to call these touches, remember. It's not, the onus is on the officials to make the play, and it has bent the middle finger of the right hand, Van Elsen, right back. That's why he looked guilty. First challenge that Massimo Botti has won this evening. And Resovia just about saved themselves from going 5 down. Buterin to serve. Negative scoreboard makes serving tougher. Super hit, overpass dealt with. Demyanenko has missed it, and Resovia's rhythm is gone here. This is the opportunity that Knack ROESELARE were hoping would arrive tonight, and now they've got to make sure they take full advantage. First mistake Danny Demyanenko has made in front court. Given the ball straight away so that he can angrily pump it into the crowd from the floor. Another huge hit from the Canadian. Wow. Good serve, Luati, overpass, Demyanenko hits another big ball. 7 points in the match now for Demyanenko, and a good serve from Luati. Just a slightly nervous reaction from the crowd. Gone a little bit quiet there. Matthias Vaneman calls his first time out of this second set. We've got drama for you here on Euro Volley TV, that's for sure. ROESELARE away and clear. Resovia finding a way back into the set. Remember, the team in blue can't lose another set. Otherwise, that is the tie gone. Good defense from Zatorski, very calm down the line. Schalpuk reaches high, can't put it away. No such problem for Erik Sixner. Really good look that from Steen Hulst to see if Espeland... Oh, sorry, it is Espeland that was running that pipe. Yeah, just to see if Espeland was available. That was enough to attract the attention of the blockers before he fired it to Sixner. Sixner will serve, 3-point lead. Here's a good one. Too tight. Oh dear, Resovia making a complete mess of that rally, and they are very fortunate that Marcin Janusz is a tall setter and was able to make the block. Demyanenko restarts his pre-serve routine. That's the one thing that hasn't gone well for him tonight, serving. Everything else has been so impressive, but he did have a couple of aces last week. And that reaction from the crowd tells you they know exactly where the danger men are. Demyanenko is one of the dangerous players at the line, but can't find the court, can't beat the net. Knack ROESELARE lead by 3 once again. Big shot, very big shot. Good set that from Janusz. It's given Butryn room to work. He's hit this very hard. Down the line, threads the needle. Janusz out of play, and Resovia's serving is costing them dear in this second set. Oh, we've got a game on our hands now. Van Hooijwegen comes in for Dulst. Two former teammates in discussion there, Dulst and his coach Vahaneman. Teammates in terms of both out on the playing surface. Poreba again bangs it away through the middle. Middle is working well now for Resovia. Schalpuk at the line, trying to find 2 points here for his team. Not a great pass from Espeland. I'm surprised they haven't targeted Espeland a bit more in this match. His passing has been shaky. There's nothing wrong with his offense. He's a fiery hitter. Great swing from the Norwegian. Schalpuk out, Shoji in for passing duties once again. The American libero in the regular shirt for Resovia. Espeland to serve. Nice off pace of that from Butryn. That was just a little cut shot to the middle of court. Really good shot. Poreba's hybrid serve then. They need points here, Resovia. Not going to get them with that. Relatively low risk serve. Fired out of bounds, and way too many serve errors from Resovia in this set. Second time out called by Massimo Botti, and as an experienced coach, I'm sure you guys are seeing it at home. He knows that the whole momentum in this game has shifted.
Pay attention to the solution short, okay?
Well, in a few minutes' time, it should be 1-all. Espeland v Luati. Luati's winning that contest left side. Right atmosphere. this arena. Kuhlmann puts it into play. Luati passes well enough and then gets a beautiful tempo set from Janusz, which he bounces again. Luati heading for double figures. Demo is already there for Knack ROESELARE. Comes Butrin. And a little throw of the dice here. In comes back up opposite, 37-year-old Jakubuki. 5th season Resovia player. Getting the full treatment from the crowd. And he can't find a serve. Knack are nearly home in set number 2 to keep this tie alive. Just the one option left now for the home side. They've got to win the game in 4 sets. And deny Resovia any chance. Demo off the fingertips. Butrin defends. Luati gets another go at it, and he gets enough on it. Oh, wow. We are in for a close one. Double figures then for Yasin Luati. Luati is the next server, but he's going to be delayed by a second timeout to Knack from Matthijs Varneman.
We're controlling the opposite. We're controlling the defensive idea, okay? So we need to keep pushing the block. If the middle is an extreme option, you can go to B0, okay? Yeah, like last time. So the defense, he made a mistake with Guardia. We defend him, and one time he scored in between in the seam. We don't care, okay? Let's go, let's go. Let's go!
Players in the heat of a match get caught up in the minutiae. They start to suggest or start to make small changes, and what Matthijs Varneman is saying there is that the 1 or 2 things that have happened positively for Resovia just recently aren't really percentage plays. Accept those and stick with the game plan. Luati restarts, good serve, out of system ball here. Very well hit from Sixner. This time he gets the better of his Canadian teammate. At international level, that is. No teammates right now. And Knack ROESELARE move to 3 set points, a chance to level the score in the game by taking their first set in the tie. Oh, dear me. Just went off in my hand, officer. That one has disappeared from Eric Sixner. Flat into the back wall. Right, 2 to find. Novak comes into the game for the first time. Victor Novak, backup setter, to serve and play defense. It's a good one. Duroy passes, Dulst out wide, and Espeland plants it on the floor, and Knack ROESELARE are still in this game. 1 set all. And tonight has just got very interesting indeed. (25-23) Resovia well on their way, and then Knack getting off to a brilliant start in set 2. When Resovia were always playing catch-up in that set, Knack controlled it very well. And now find themselves in the game. They've still got to win 2 more sets to force the golden set, so it's still in favour of Resovia overall. But ROESELARE look like they're playing now. Well, at last, in a fixture that was going all Asseco Resovia RZESZÓW's way, it is now game on as Knack ROESELARE play themselves into the fixture. Still a big ask for the team in blue, but it's doable. There we go. If you want to join the conversation online, hashtag CLVolleyM, we'd love to hear from you. Polish fans around the arena. Still smiling. Resovia still have the advantage technically. Still just need that one more set. So we're good to go then with the third. It is game on. Away we go. Team in red and white, Asseco Resovia RZESZÓW from Poland, are still a set away from making the quarterfinals. Knack ROESELARE, the home side, have given them a scare here, and they've definitely knocked their rhythm. Momentum is with the Belgian club in blue right now. Early serving error from Karol Butrin, that won't set the tone. That will, though. Great comeback from Butrin. Unloads on a cross-court ball with serious intent. Great pass from Espeland, and a lovely ball down the line from Sixnat. Players are really starting to play here. Good set from Dolst. Not the best though from Sixner. The last two serves he's hit have been not his best. Wow, 26 serve errors in the match so far, so both teams have been going for it, but there's also been a few nervous ones in there. Demianenko hasn't served well so far and continues to struggle. Front court, he's been a monster. On the baseline, he's been out of luck. Van Elsen, he's served particularly well, the middle man, and he's come up with another ace. Wow. Really good contact. 4-2, Knack ROESELARE. Suddenly it feels achievable again. Luati with the pass. Butrin doing what every good right side needs to be able to do. Out of system, still win the points. When it doesn't look so good, when the blockers are lined up on you, still put it away. Good blocking. Nice coverage on Sixner. Dulce goes on the reverse, and it's shoved off the block and straight down into his shoes. Ndemo, given his first attacking opportunity, can't make the most of it. Sharpuk scores. Keeping the pressure on Espeland. And he hits a fine shot there off the outstretched arms of Karol Butrin. Poreba going with the wrong man. Espeland taking his chance. Now, Dumont, 4 aces so far in the game. No, off the net. Zatorski passes him. Sharpuk really fixes a point going cross court there and manages to beat Espeland and Duroy, who in all honesty got in each other's way. Good start to set 2 from Artur Sharpuk. Tumbling pass from Sixner. Espeland off the top of the blocker's hands. It's rescued. It's playable. It is a point, and it's a brilliant point for Resovia, and suddenly that momentum tips back to the Polish side. It's a great rescue, and that's a really nice set from Poreba. Assist from the middleman. Sharpuk goes again. Hits Espeland for the ace. Espeland does look a little vulnerable when he's front court out on that left side as the passer. And Sharpuk, with a relatively tame serve, gets what he's after. Got to go there again. Surely. 7-5, Resovia turn it round. Well, go figure. Go figure. I think Massimo Botti had a little word with Artur Sharpuk after that decision to change the serve, and he's banged it way out the back. All right, well, Espeland now should be lining up Sharpuk for this next one. He goes line and goes out instead. Guesswork from the players at the service line. They have a very specific serving game plan. In court from Poreba. Pass is good though. Dumont running out of luck here, and it's Demyanenko that's got him. Towering block from the Canadian. A bit of help from Luati. Worrying 9-6 lead. Worrying that is for the Knack ROESELARE fans. They've been so wonderful tonight. Janusz makes the play. Oh, that's too good from Luati. And very disappointing for the Knack ROESELARE blockers there. Not an easy ball to hit this, so rather than just give the point away for free, he's gone way off pace. Just chipped it through the arms of Sixner. That's the problem, when you hide Dulst away like that and you drag the left side all the way across to the middle, it's not easy.
We're blocking, but we're not blocking full, we're doubting a little bit. If we block, we go full, guys. There's no half block, otherwise we know he's using it. We can't pull on this ball, but then we pull full, okay? Give the test, keep pushing, boys.
Well, we've seen it from both teams tonight, but when the opposition gets on top, the team that is behind on the scoreboard does tend to look pretty downcast. Body language at the moment from Knack ROESELARE is not good. Kuhlmann passes, ball out wide to Sixner, and he's got enough on that to take it away. Shot from our net cam. Right, one ace for Kuhlmann, needs one now. It's a good serve. Oh, that's a great play. You could see that coming a long way off. And I think that is a bloody nose. Not deliberate, of course, from Demyanenko, but he's absolutely clouted Demo, full in the face. Demo still checking the injury site. That was hit hard. Massimo Botti looks a little more relaxed. The team were getting into a spot of trouble early in this set, but they've got themselves out of it, scoring well, blocking brilliantly. And again, third time of asking them for Sixner, and he's put it out of play, but via the blocker's hands. Good piece of work from the Canadian wing spiker, after some terrific work from the Resovia blockers. Serve Dulst. Knack really putting some force through the ball from the baseline, but Resovia are just about standing up to the test. Luati scores again. He's been good tonight. Great set from Janusz. And an ace from Luati takes him to 14 points in the game. Oh, he's battered that. Nothing Sixner could do about it. Good control. Luati makes the dig. Now, I don't know if you saw that, but as soon as Luati made that touch, he looked straight over to the bench, to the guys that have given him that piece of information about where to be positioned. Play on results in the point. In comes Demet. Out goes Sixner. So Demet is Knack ROESELARE's top ace scorer in the competition. He's actually the best ace scorer in the Champions League through that first phase. But I'm not sure it's going to do Knack ROESELARE any good here, because Resovia now are playing with confidence and playing with real rhythm. Well, he gets an early go at it. No joy for Demet. Not easy coming on from the bench to try and make big points. Captain Janusz looking a lot more settled in this third now. Right, positive scoreboard. Demyanenko might cause problems here. Off pace, controlled by De Ruyt. Brilliant hit, brilliant defence, but just out of bounds. Sharput can't quite control the power of Espeland. Points in it. Well, Knack staged a pretty good comeback from this position in set one. Setter and Libro get in each other's way. And Captain Janusz won't be too pleased with Zatorski after that, especially when they lose the point. Well, actually, it's Janusz taking a bit of responsibility there. Maybe he should have let Zatorski set the ball. Right then, is there room for one more twist to the tail in this evening's game? Oh, yes, there is. Trickle ace, nothing Pareba could do about it. Second ace for Van Elsen.
But this 50-50 ball have to be ours, okay? The next
Timeout then from Massimo Botti, just sensing a little bit of an issue. Job is not done just yet for Resovia, who, if they win this set, are through to a quarter-final showdown with Ziraat Banca Ankara. Las Palmas go on to meet Perugia. And Warszawa beating Trentino. They will meet another Polish team, Bogdanka Lublin. Lube and Zawiercie, the other quarter-final, already decided. Nice. Well, it was a nice set, but Butryn felt the blockers were covering him and tried to do a bit of extra work with it, and he's missed. They were covering him. Well, it's got really tasty again. Knack ROESELARE are back in it. Big shot this, and made easily by Poreba. He has absolutely launched that. Comes steaming into the power angle and then just rips it across his body. Good pass from Luati. Good finish from Poreba. Oh, what a block from Poreba. 2 points in a row then from the Polish middleman. Very good read. Really good discipline on the block. Mo stopped. Back to a 4-point cushion for Resovia. Dig from Janusz. Sharpuk just forces the ball to the defender. Really messy rally here, and it is finally put away. Espeland gets the score. It's Luati's dive off the block. In comes Van Hooijdonk once again, the backup setter. Out goes Steengulst. There's a big height difference between those two players, so Van Hooijdonk is in for his superior height and physicality at the net. He's strictly on as a blocker, but it's quite useful. He can serve that function as a setter as well, and he likes to set this man, Demo. Well, you've already served 4 for your club, Basel. They need more. It's not to be. And now, with every point, it feels like a huge step closer to the quarterfinals for Resovia. Covered by Kuhlmann. Oh, hit so crisply by Espeland. He packs a serious punch, doesn't he? For a player that stands 196. Punishing hit inside the attack line there. Right, out goes Sharpuk again, so in comes the USA libero Eric Shoji on for passing duties. He's been quite quiet tonight as Eric. Good ball from Luati. Oh, that is a wicked set from Janusz. And Luati has hammered this as hard as he can hit it with no blocker in the way. Lovely take from Poreba, lovely set from Janusz. Demo taking evasive action, didn't want another ball in the face. Demo's turn to hit hard, blockers on it though, and Resovia surely now are on their way to the quarterfinals. Second time out called by Matthijs Varneman, but the tie is going away from them.
That's it.
see what Massimo Botti's thinking is here. Very often, if you've got a big game at the weekend coming up, very often the coaches, once they've got the match in the bag, will simply throw the bench in. Van Elsen versus Demyanenko, that's been a good contest. Demyanenko with the more impressive hits, but Van Elsen has been scoring, same as he did in game one. Pereira serves it long, and it was probably going out. Lots of calls, but Espeland still tries to pass it and passes it into the back wall. Ace for Pereira. He's had a very good run in the last few minutes. Cross-court swing from Demet is wide. And Resovia now 3 points away from victory. Now remember, the game will still continue, even though Resovia have the 2 sets they wanted. So there's still a result to play for Knack ROESELARE. Oh, what a get. What a get from Shoji. Oh, remarkable volleyball. Still in play. Free ball coming. Watch Demyanenko here. No, doesn't give it to him. Gives it to Butrin. And Butrin just rolls it casually off the arms of Demet. Resovia score again. What a dig from Shoji, and what a dig from the back line as well, from Espeland. Demyanenko takes the blocker and gives Butrin one-on-one. So a challenge coming from Matthijs Vahaneman. He's used his 2 timeouts, so his only option here is to ask the video official to check the last point, with, I suspect, no thought of winning the point or the challenge. But he knows it's a tricky one to find, so he knows he'll get a bit of delay on this. Probably what Knack need right now, and if they're going to save the day, save the evening, it's going to have to be a huge effort. They need a restart. Clear as mud. He's just legal. Luati, worth a look, but the challenge and the point remain lost. Pereira to serve then. Resovia are nearly home. Goes for it without much success. Van Hooijwegen incidentally has vacated the court. Steendos, the captain, is back in. But Resovia have a big lead. And I'm not sure Peter Kuhlmann can serve them out of trouble. He has a go. Satorski with the pass. Demyanenko with a ripping shot again. And Demo is getting peppered by these Resovia spikers. Set point, but effectively it is match point. And Janusz can't, in fact Butrin can't provide the finishing touch. So the luxury of still having 7 opportunities to win the overall tie. The match will continue, but Resovia here will celebrate on the next point they win. Still in play. Shoji wide to Luati. Luati finds the corner and the net touch, and that's it. Resovia will celebrate victory in the tie. They go 2-1 up in the match, but they are through to the quarterfinals. Well, disappointment for Knack ROESELARE. They played so much better in tonight's game. But in the end, it wasn't quite enough, and a beaming Massimo Botti sees his team home in this one. And they win sets 1 and 3, 25-23, 25-17. And while we do play on, it is victory in the overall tie for Asseco Resovia RZESZÓW. And the dream of forcing a golden set for home side Knack ROESELARE has vanished. So now we get to see the thinking of both coaches. I think it's always quite difficult for the home team to throw the bench in, so probably expect So there we go, 2-1 to Asseco Resovia RZESZÓW. They are through to the quarterfinals where they will meet Ziraat Banker Ankara. We now know the full quarterfinal lineup for the Champions League for this season, and what a competition it's going to be for the title. For Knack ROESELARE, the home side, real disappointment. And we'll see what Matthijs van Ammen decides to do. I think he's probably going to keep his strongest lineup out on the floor. Massimo Botti has the chance to rest key players. Tough one for the Knack ROESELARE fans. They've given it absolutely everything. Yeah, I'm seeing a few substitutes taking tracksuits off, ready to go for Resovia. When you do throw the bench on, that usually means we're going to see the game all the way through to 5 sets. Depends on the extent of the changes. Still flying the flag, but no joy for Knack ROESELARE this evening. Well, we'll get set 4 underway. I'll update you on the new additions to the court if there are any. Looks like Lucas Vashina is going to be out there, Czechia international for Resovia, and I think we've got another player out there as well. Cezary Sapinski, I think, is the new middleman on court. So, plenty of changes for Massimo Botti. With the tie in the bag, he can now afford to rest up his main men. Off we go with set number 4. It's a quieter arena now here in ROESELARE because the home side not able to find what they were after, which is basically a 3-0 or a 3-1 victory over Resovia. They had to deny Resovia 2 sets, and Resovia have got them. But I think we're probably going to get to 5 sets because there's a whole new bunch of players out on the floor for Resovia. Jakub Buki is in the opposite slot. Cezary Sapinski, new middleman. We've got Viktor Novak, new setter. Vashina is the new server, new left side player. This should, well, in theory, this should be relatively straightforward for Knack ROESELARE to win the game in 5 now. There's no disrespect to the players out on the floor for Resovia, but they are bench players who haven't had a huge amount of court time together in matches. Mind you, they would have played a fair few training matches and training sets against the opposition. Final player I haven't mentioned so far, very good Slovenian wing spiker actually, Klemen Čebuľ. 5th season with Resovia, and here is Cezary Sapinski, new middle guy on court. No changes by the looks of it for Knack ROESELARE. Matthijs Vaneman wants to try and get at least some consolation from the evening, registering a victory. Overpass. Block is strong. Demo has to chase it down. He's put a really good ball in there. And that's a very good point. It's Viktor Novak, the setter, that actually wins it. And a nice pick-up in amongst all of that by backup libero. Michal Patera is out on the floor as well, ahead of Pavel Zatorski. So it's wholesale changes for Resovia. And if they can sneak the win in 4, that would be a feather in the cap for the bench. Good serve from Novak. Well, they're playing without pressure, the team in red and white, that's for sure, because the tie is already done. So they can really let fly here. Sixner scores to give ROESELARE the lead again. Good serve. Good pass and a very nice run from Čebuľ through the outside. Good serve as well from Čebuľ. Well defended. Whoa. Pretty sure Dulst was clearing everyone out the way, but that could have spun back in. Great get from Novak. For Knack, Sixner into the net, and I think this is really tough for the Knack ROESELARE players right now, because they know the game is done, they know they've lost in the overall tie. Now they've got to try and get themselves up for this, with the home crowd still wanting a result. The one man still out on the floor is Poreba through the middle. He makes a defensive touch and out of the back line. Čebuľ is 34 now, but the Slovenian, really classy player, and in his day he was starting games for the national team. (6-5) Resovia. Finish from Espeland. Sixes then, as Peter Kuhlmann lines it up. Calm pass from Čebuľ, and a very nice swing from the backup opposite. Jakub Buki at 37 years of age still gets a long way off the floor. That is a massive jump. The serve kept himself in great nick. Good serve as well. Nice hands on the block. Buki makes the dig. Novak sends it wide. Decent swing from Vajcina, but a very good swing from Demo. You can just see it in the faces of the Knack players. The disappointment is still there. Not a huge amount to celebrate on these points, knowing that the tie is gone. He's hitting a good ball, isn't he, Bookie? Made a mistake on his first shot in the game, but he's come back really strong. Shinak gets his ball toss all wrong. Like I said, no real pressure on the Resovia bench. They can get out there and enjoy themselves. Obviously, they want to show the coach what they can do with quite a chunk of the season left. 8 apiece. Norwegian Espeland into the net. Plan there between Novak and Pureba if the ball is good in transition. It's a good serve. Nicely played by Steenders to keep it in play. And a great angle from our TV director up above the court. You can really see the movement of the players. It's going to be a net touch against Resovia that produces the point for Knack. Good effort from Espeland. Good enough in the end to score. Van Elsen to serve, 9 apiece. Resovia bench doing a good job here. That is a massive hit from Bookie. Wow. Novak goes to him on a little pop set here. Good tempo on that ball. A very nice finish. It's a bit of a character, is Victor Novak, former Skra player, signed in the off-season for Resovia. As the backup to Janusz. Nicely done from Espeland out of the back line. Just saw flashes of what Basel de Meaux can do in tonight's game, but he's not done it often enough. That's Espeland, by the way, not de Meaux. He's just missed. Chabourge then back to the service line. Good hit, nice pass though from Duroy. Really impressive from Espeland. He's a jack-in-the-box, isn't he? He really does leap. His hold here on this before he swings. Really confident hitting. Out comes Sixner. In comes the ace man, Demet. We've not managed to see any aces from him yet in this contest, but he does have a serve that causes problems. Needs to cause one now. Doesn't. Covered pretty well. Espeland gets the recycle off the block and then they take the hands away. And Chabourge decides that was probably going in. Can't make the defensive touch though. Has the rhythm gone for Knack ROESELARE? They have played well in phases of this game, but understandably now, the fizz has gone out of it for them. Chance to score for Resovia. Tumbling defence from Buki. Nearly out of the net and in play. Knack get the point. Well, Knack's serving at the moment is completely gone. Much better from Resovia. Joy at the moment from Lucas Vashina at the service line. 14-all then, on we go. Remember, if Resovia win this set, then the match is theirs, as well as the tie. It looks like a real possibility at the moment. From Sapinski. Demet goes for the tip. Jabolj gets control of it, and then they go back to the middle, and Pureba finds the floor with ease, and Resovia have a 2-point cushion, and for a group of players that don't have any pressure in this set, that might be good enough. Sapinski can open the shoulders now on this serve. De Roy controls it well. Back set to Demo is nice, but he's missed it. Well, he thinks he's got a touch off the block, so we are going to get a challenge here from Matthijs Varneman. Challenge has finally produced a confession from Klemen Jabolj that he's touched the ball. The DJ at least still has a sense of humour on the evening. Challenge 1, point in the bank. And the scoreboard adjusts itself to just a single point deficit for the home side, but that's turned into 2 again. Jabolj goes through the block. One of many brilliant Slovenian athletes that have come out of the international system over the last 10 years or so and into the big games around Europe and the world. Novak is having fun out there. Crazy serve from him. Free ball. Will he run Pureba? No. Runs on the opposite to Buki again on the tempo ball. Buki at the moment has got the beating of Demet. See what I mean about Novak? Second time out from Varneman.
We have to keep going full. Precies gewoon de respect. De bal is zo knal en heb de vingers lekker daar dan. Niet twijfel, shotjes. Laat je gewoon scoren. Je scoren is een kwaliteitsman. De broek zo. Let's go. Let's go, boys! Let's go! Let's go!
It's a worrying 3-point lead here. Demianenko sending the bench back out onto the floor with a cheery wave. And it's all positive for Resovia and the fans. Does he take that drum on the plane? That's what I want to know. Oh dear. Novak with footfall to the season. Did a bit of okey cokey there. You put your whole self in. Well, that's it. You put your whole self in. Right. 2 points to find on the Demo serve. Good serve. Tight ball. Novak gets a good one-handed set, and I think Cebull just missed it. Yeah, just long. No challenge. Well, I've been saying it's Demo, but it's not. It's Simon Hager of the Netherlands. My apologies to him. There's a passing resemblance, but he's in on the opposite. And Knack ROESELARE, and that ball has just clipped the line. Good service is from Hager there. Good introduction to the match. Going in for Demo. That's a very good serve from Cebull. Out of the back line, Hager has got the fingertips. That's what the ref thinks anyway. Oh dear. I don't think so. No, it has been given. There we go, must have been a net touch then instead. Didn't look near to the block. The Met serve off the net, controlled easily. Not put away though by Vashina. And not great from Espeland. Tips into the middle of the net, keeps Resovia's lead for them. Over then with this hybrid serve, the float ball toss, a little bit of topspin on it, but he gets that wrong. Being given some encouragement here. And Duroy continues to really try and drive his team on. He's not a happy man at the moment, the libero for Knack. But he doesn't want him to go down without at least some kind of fight in this fourth set. Good serve. Good pass, good finish. That is a terrific set from Novak. Does look relatively short out there, doesn't he, the backup set of Victor Novak, but he's won 9-1. So he's 6'2" territory. Buki then, good impact into the game from the bench, the opposite who's come in. And there's that little flip of the passes. I hate it. I think it puts that passing unit under pressure. Right, chance here. Buki out of the back line. Goes for the fingertips, and he's found the fingernails, by the looks of it, of Van Elsen. So, not much else for Matthijs van Arnhem to do here other than to stop the game for another chat with his players.
We have to make something of this end of the set, okay? But guys, we also have to show, and now we come to the side and everybody's keep the energy till the end. A few minutes more, if we do well, we have 15 minutes more, but we go full, guys. Come on.
Well, the Knack ROESELARE fans have gone quiet. The Resovia fans right up there in the top of the arena are making all the noise. And that would be a tough one for this Knack team to take. You know, beaten already by the starting lineup. Looks like they're going to get beaten here by the bench. Good serve from Buki. Espeland power tip taken down by Sapinski. redheads going head-to-head. And Espeland loses that one. 23-19, Buki to serve again. Resovia nearly over the line now. Good hit. Demet, good pass. Hager. Nice work. That's a really nice shot. Referee's going to have a look at this one, is it? No, oh no, it is a challenge from Massimo Botti. So ball in or out, Resovia want to have a look at this. It looked like a very clean hit. And I think it's a pretty straightforward inspection. Yeah, there we go. Compression has taken the ball in. Two points required from Resovia, and there's the first of them. Cesare Sapinski given the ball in the middle. And just about does enough with it. Four match points, the tie's already in the bag. This is to put the icing on the cake, and Vashina continues his poor serving run with a big smile on his face. Espeland then to the baseline. He's probably got license to go for this, so might be a couple of tricky balls here for Resovia's passing lineup to receive. No, it's out of bounds. Asseco Resovia RZESZÓW do it in style tonight as they beat Knack ROESELARE across the two legs. 3-0, 3-1. And for the second time in the history of these two clubs, they meet in the knockout phase of the Champions League, and it is Resovia that win it again. They are into the quarter-finals. Disappointing night for Knack ROESELARE and the fans. A lot of organisation, a lot of work goes into getting these clubs on the road in Europe. So you have to doff your cap to both sets of teams and the backroom staff, but on the night it is Resovia that come out comfortably on top. MVP then to be announced as we just check that final tail of the tape. And there we go, it's gone to Yassine Louati, and I think that's a good decision on the evening. 16 points, 2 blocks, 2 aces, and a high degree of efficiency from the Frenchman. So a shot in the quarter-finals, Ziraat Banka Ankara for this Asseco Resovia RZESZÓW team. Nothing for Knack ROESELARE, not in the top level of the CEV European volleyball competitions. No more Champions League for them this season in their 24th appearance. So we're just going to hang on and see if we can get an interview with Yassine Louati. There's confirmation of our quarter-finals. Resovia play Lublin after beating Trentino. Las Palmas play Perugia. Las Palmas after beating Montpellier. Lube and Zavici already decided as a quarter-final. And then the final part of the jigsaw puzzle comes together. Resovia will play Ankara.
Being the first game at home, we had to push because we were not. So I mean, it's a dangerous quarter-final. Like all the teams at this level are very dangerous. So we're happy, really happy the way we played today.
Congrats again, and thank you.
Thank you very much.
Should be very happy. Yasin Louati was brilliant in tonight's match, and one of the players that ended up as the difference. So there we go. Resovia going across to the fans to say a big thank you. Asseco Resovia RZESZÓW win it against Knack ROESELARE and join the other teams in the quarter-final stage of the CEV Champions League. What a brilliant finish to the competition this season on the way, and it'll all be here on Eurovolley TV. Thanks for watching. From me, Simon Golding, I'll say goodbye.